All right, what is going on, you guys? It is Jake here, bringing you guys yet another Madden 23 video. This is going to be for Week 2 after the Week 1 victory at the New York Jets. A real nail-biter of a win there. Lamar Jackson taking down Zach Wilson and co. And just jumping right into Week 2 here after that big win. Going to be taking on the Dolphins in Week 1 this week as we see Marlon Humphrey meeting with my coach there, talking a little bit about how he's tired of being disrespected. Kind of funny to see that from Marlon Humphrey, who is not usually lacking for confidence. But yeah, it's going to be one of those storylines that we're going to be tracking in this one where he comes to me. He wants to maybe try and have a breakout week and sort of see what he can do against this Dolphins team that is going to be starting Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback today on offense with Tua Tagovailoa out with an injury. I didn't see exactly what the injury was, or rather I did, but I cut it out of the video there, so I forgot what it was. But yeah, we're getting right into this one, taking a look at some of the approaches that we're going to be taking. This is going to be an interesting game, I think, with Mike McDaniel and the way that they've sort of revamped what they're doing there with that running game. With Tyreek Hill coming into the picture, it's going to be a fun one as you see me making some upgrades here to, I think, Malik Harrison and Rashad Bateman. This is it's turning out to be a pretty fun start to this franchise so far, I think. That opening week game against the Jets, it definitely was, like I said, a nail-biter. It was one that I don't even know if I was expecting to come down to the wire like that was, and I really honestly didn't know what I expected because I've really been kind of toying around with this Madden, and I've come to the realization that I do like some of the gameplay changes they've made. I think I got into, in the first episode, maybe some of the issues that I've had the last couple years with it, but this does kind of feel like a little bit of a culmination point of some of the good improvements they've made, such as like what you're seeing here with the offensive and defensive coordinator stuff, as you see me making some improvements there to Lamont Booker, who is kind of your offensive coordinator, Greg Roman stand-in type deal. But hey, it's my own coaching staff, so maybe I'll take some ownership for it. But yeah, making some upgrades to him. Moving to look into some of the news pieces here. You've got Michael Gallup going down for the year. That's not good for the Cowboys. A guy who I really wouldn't mind seeing out of mid-Baltimore at some point, but it's going to be hard after he, I believe, signed that new contract with Dallas. But yeah, just looking through some of these stories before we get going, there's one of the college ones to keep an eye on, I guess, as we keep an eye on some of those prospects as well for the scouting system that we're definitely going to be getting into because, like I said, I think it's better this year than it was before. Last year was a very good attempt at a scouting system, but it wasn't fully fleshed out. This definitely feels a little bit better, and like I said, we'll be jumping plenty into that. But without further ado, let's get into this game a little bit. Like I said, it is going to be old Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy B H2O there, starting for the Dolphins as they come to Baltimore in Week 2 in what I think even in real life might have a chance to be kind of a tough game with the fact that I think the Ravens are going to be a better team this year, but it's going to be Week 2. I don't know who the Dolphins have in Week 1, but you got to think that their confidence is going to be relatively high. I think Mike McDaniel is going to come in there and give him some swagger to walk around with. I think he's going to coach things up pretty well. And you know, a young team with a new coach and a new approach, they're always kind of dangerous early on in the season. So I think that's, you know, has potential to be the case in a game like this. As you see Lamar firing Dobbins up there, as you see Bridgewater and some of his guys getting ready for this one. Like I said, it could have potential to be a pretty decent game here. So without further ado, it is Ravens and it is Dolphins here in Week 2 for Baltimore's home opener. And you got to know this house is going to be absolutely packed out. M&T Bank Stadium. You know, we love our Ravens here in Baltimore. This is going to be a fun week opener in real life, I'd imagine. And especially if things go as they did versus the Jets in Week 1, where you have a kind of that nail-biting victory. But here is JT kicking it away to the Dolphins offense, who are going to start in this one, and let's see what they can do. And there's Mike McDaniel, Mike McD talking it over with Bridgewater, who's going to trot out here for his first series. Last week, 1 touchdown, 254 yards, 22 for 35. Very solid, just kind of Teddy Bridgewater type numbers. He's not like a great quarterback necessarily, but he could be productive. He's had some good years there with the Broncos and Panthers recently. So definitely your kind of figurative journeyman, or not even figurative, but definitely a journeyman the last couple years throughout the league. For sure. So it'll be interesting to see if he can kind of do anything with the Dolphins here, depending on what happens with Tua's situation, both in real life and in this game, because he's got an opportunity in this game to do something. Quickly facing a third down, though, and he does get taken down there by Odafe Owe. I believe that's going to be Owe's first sack of the season in what is going to be hopefully a breakout year for the second year outside linebacker, as you see him coming down there who, onto Bridgewater, who really held the ball a little bit too long there. I'm not sure what the plan was on that play, but he didn't try to improvise or anything. Their loss is the Ravens' gain, though, as Baltimore is going to take over after a punt. That is Thomas Morstead, the longtime veteran, punting it away to Duvernay, who's going to field it and definitely get some nice yardage out of this one, up past the 40-yard line to the 42, where the Ravens are going to start off with some nice field position of their own. Here comes Lamar after a big week one versus the Jets. He did a lot of it on the ground, as did the rest of Baltimore's rushing game. He had one passing touchdown, I believe, to Mark Andrews. Yes, a 155 and 11 for 17. I think I said at the end of last week's video that I wanted to get the passing game going a little bit more this week. So let's see if we can make that a little bit of a point of emphasis here and have some fun slinging it around. Lamar from the gun. He has plenty of time to throw. He's just going to kind of dump that one off to Mark Andrews after a little block and release. And just a quick 1-yard gain there to start things off. And you see Andrews did have the touchdown there with 4 for 65 last week. So off to a trademark nice start for him as Jackson takes the read option fake, and he is going to just sort of beat the linebacker to the edge there and bring up a 3rd and 4 quickly. They take the snap, and he dumps this one over the middle to Duvernay, who does pick up the 3rd down, so kind of dinking and dunking their way in this one, and they are across midfield into Dolphin territory. Lamar keeps it on the option again. This time the Dolphins are all over it. That's going to lose about 4 yards, and Dolphins have pushed the Ravens back a little bit here. Let's see how they respond. Little play action fake. Jackson loads up and throws deep, and I think that was Demarcus Robinson, unable to come down with it, but that is okay because Jackson just does another little seam shot there to Andrews. He had a nice one against the Jets last week, or maybe a couple nice ones doing so with Andrews, and you're going to see a lot of that this season, obviously. And speaking of Mark Andrews, running to that flag route, he is going to score quite easily to open things up, open the Ravens account up here, and hitting just a very realistic dance that you would definitely see him do in a game. Pocket was perfectly clean all day to throw. Andrews gets wide open, and he scores easily here to get the Ravens up 7-0 in this one. Coming back to the Dolphins, Teddy's going to come out of the single back, and he's going to throw to the right here, nothing there, bringing up a 2nd down and 10, where he's going to take the snap and can't really do anything. He just kind of throws one up there off an awkward angle, and that is picked off by Kyle Fuller wearing number 18 there. In addition to this Ravens secondary, he hadn't had a great training camp in real life, but he's a guy who maybe is just going to turn on that veteran juice and just sort of start playing well when the games get going, and he definitely did there on that interception. Calais Campbell kind of all over Bridgewater. I don't know if he was trying to throw that away or trying to actually complete the pass there, but Fuller is all over it, and the Ravens take over, I believe, in the red zone here. So let's see if Lamar can capitalize on this one. Coming out of the pistol, he is going to hand this one off to Dobbins, who's going to break his way forward to almost a 1st down. Ravens from the 9 take another snap. Lamar just kind of puts that one on the turf, bringing up 3rd and inches, and let's see what they do. Just a quick little handoff to Dobbins there. He's going to power his way forward down to the 3-yard line, and they are knocking on the door for their 2nd touchdown here, which they are going to get with a little keeper by Jackson there, just running off a little bootleg and just kind of using Pat Ricard as a little bit of a screen to work his way into the end zone there for a rushing touchdown in this one. So Ravens very quickly go up 14-0 over the Dolphins here in week 2. So nice job there by Pat Ricard to kind of set that quasi pick, and the Dolphins are going to take back over, needing a touchdown here. And are they going to get it? Looks like Jalen Waddle, I believe that is, broke away from Marlon Humphrey. So out of nowhere, we have some fireworks going on in this one. The very promising former Alabama wide receiver breaks away from the Alabama cornerback and Marlon Humphrey, who was talking a big game to me as the coach about how he wanted to have a big game in this one, how he's one of the best in the league. And I don't know, Marlon, maybe you should stick to Twitter, man, because that was I don't know what exactly happened on that one. I probably should have given you guys a replay, but Jalen Waddle very quickly opens the Dolphins account. It is now a 1-score game all of a sudden. Ravens got a 2nd and 6 here. Going to do a little play action off of the pistol fake, and Jackson just going to run this one to the right, kind of similar to that touchdown. Gain some nice yardage on that, and they're up to the 42-yard line as they take over again here. Staying in that pistol, I definitely am liking it a lot so far, and you can kind of see why, because Jackson breaks away from a tackle on that one, and he is going to have all the room in the world to run. You don't really see him break a lot of tackles like that in real life, but when he does, you can pretty much assure when he gets those one-on-one situations that deep into the field, that's going to be a touchdown every time. So fakes it to Dobbins. I'm not exactly sure who he shook off there. I probably got to be a little bit better with giving you guys replays, but absolutely just sliced and diced his way through the defense. Ravens very quickly regain that 2-touchdown lead here, and this is a kind of a little bit of a barn burner of a game. The first quarter hasn't even ended yet. It's already 21-7. There goes Tyreek Hill trying to make something happen there on that little shovel pass, but Patrick Queen quickly sniffs it out and knocks him down for a short gainer. Bridgewater going to the left there and picking up the first down. I believe that was Gesicki, who they're going to need to see something out of if they want to get this passing game going. He's definitely one of their big guys in the passing game as the first quarter comes to a close there. Stats kind of looking pretty even, honestly, but Ravens definitely dominating so far by my account anyway, as Patrick Queen makes another big play getting into the backfield there for a tackle for loss on Chase Edmonds. So a nice start for Patrick Queen. We definitely want to see that. We want to see him stepping up big time in this critical third year, both in the game and in real life, as Edmonds actually does a nice job to get away from most of the defenders on that one, but then Kyle Hamilton kind of comes in and lays the authority. I think that was Hamilton. But yeah, no matter. I mean, the Dolphins are across midfield here, so keeping things rolling on their end of things as Waddle catches that one and moves forward a little bit before he gets hit sticked. And they're going to throw this one to the left, and that's going to be picked off by Marcus Peters. So some strange decision-making by Teddy in this one. I think he tried to force that in there to Tyreek Hill, and Peters just kind of jumped all over it. And good to see him back and doing Marcus Peters things, celebrating kind of, a little bullishly there, which is always nice to see. And yeah, he was just all over that one. Classic play there by number 24 to help the Ravens take over in this one and see if they can put some salt in the wound here. Still going out of the pistol is going to be a fake to Dobbins, and Lamar takes it and goes the same way. I think he was supposed to go opposite for the play design, but he's just that fast that he can kind of run the other way and pick up a first down there. So nice job by Lamar to make sort of something out of nothing on that play. He is very fun to play with in this game to break the fourth wall a little bit there. It is a handoff to Dobbins. He's going to be brought down pretty easily for a tackle for loss. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 12. Lamar's just going to kind of toss this one up, and that gets hauled in by Duvernay. Nice job by him to pick up the first down there as the Ravens are now moving into Dolphin territory. Little handoff there to Dobbins. Doesn't go very far, but you get a manageable 2nd and 8 in which Jackson's going to throw again, and this time it is to Andrews, who has some room to run. Brings it down inside the red zone to the 15-yard line. Lamar fakes this one. He's going to throw again. This time it is almost picked off. A little bit of a dangerous throw there, trying to force it into Mark, which, is kind of, it has tendencies to happen at times as he gets kind of swallowed up on that one. That brings up a 3rd down and 14 deep in Dolphin territory. Are they going to be able to score a touchdown on this one? No, they're not. And another dangerous throw there is almost picked off, but no matter. Justin Tucker comes out there and makes this a 24-7 game, so you'll certainly take that. As the Ravens are starting to pour it on here in their home opener. Teddy kind of flips this one out to the left side. And, he's not looked great today. He's had the 2 weird decisions with the interceptions, but he's moved the ball okay. Hands this one off to Chase Edmonds. His running game isn't doing much for him as they pick up the first down there. They're starting to get some momentum on this drive. Let's see if they can actually create a little passing momentum. They're not going to on that one as Hamilton is in the area on that throwaway. Taking a look at the draft class there, looking very solid as of right now. Coming out of the single back, they'll hand it off to Edmonds, who gets forward. Kyle Hamilton forces the fumble on the hit stick, and that is picked up by Kyle Fuller. So the Kyles are just on the case on that play. Kyle Fuller with a pick and a fumble recovery so far in this game. So this is a pretty big one for him. I know Humphrey said he wanted to have the big game, but his running mate there at slot cornerback is kind of doing the job for him so far. Lamar was kind of negotiating the pocket on that one. He just made an ill-fated sort of back foot throw, just kind of hawked it up to Andrews, but Xavier Howard all over it, makes the interception, and Dolphins going to take over just ahead of the 2-minute warning here. They really need to make something happen on offense, though. Chase Edmonds doing his damnedest. He gets them into about a 2nd and 1 as we will go into the 2-minute warning here. Bridgewater pocket collapsing, dumps that one off, and it's just more of this dink and dunk stuff. They're not really managing the clock especially well as he goes over to Gesicki, going to the right side. They are kind of going no huddle here, so that's a kudos to them, but a little bit more of a sense of urgency could probably suit them pretty well as they get themselves into another 2nd and 7. Teddy loads up and goes to the right, and Humphrey's on the case there, knocking that one out of bounds. Bringing up a 3rd and 7. What are they going to do here? They will throw for it and go nowhere, as that is Oweh with his 2nd sack of the game, a crucial one that's going to knock them out of field goal territory and allow the Ravens to take over with some time to work with here before the second half gets underway. Duvernay going to field this one, run to the right side, and he definitely has some room to move there. Moving it up to the 26-yard line. So Ravens going to take over with 1:08 to go in the half. Let's see what they try to do here with this one with 2 timeouts to work with. Lamar from the gun. He's kind of drifting off. He's going to go to Dobbins in the screen pass. The blocking wasn't there, but he was able to get that out of bounds after a 4-yard gain. So nice job by Dobbins. Andrews kind of doing the same thing. He was going for that sideline, but he didn't quite get it. So they're going to go to the hurry up. Jackson's going to throw again, or try to, as he gets sacked by Christian Wilkins, and they will take their first time out here. So they got 1 timeout to work with now. 40 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 16 from the full house. Jackson is going to throw with plenty of time. Completed to Demarcus Robinson. Down to the Dolphins' 44-yard line. So a very nice explosive play there to get them to where they need to be. Plenty of time to at least get into field goal range for JT. Speaking of which, Lamar going to throw to his right to Rashad Bateman, getting involved today, who has a very nice catch and run out of bounds to the 20-yard line. Ravens might have a chance to go for the touchdown here with 27 seconds left to go. They'll throw. Jackson going to throw to his left, and Andrews is just going to take another 5-yarder out of bounds. So 22 seconds left from the 15. Ravens with no timeouts kind of complicates it, but Jackson is just going to thread the needle again to Mark Andrews. It's never complicated when he's involved. And Lamar just loves those honey hole throws over the linebacker in front of the safety with Andrews, who's one of the best space-eating tight ends in the league. It's just kind of a cheat code when you get down in that red area. And Mark is just all over it today with his 2nd touchdown, I believe. And Ravens really pouring it on in this one. We'll skip the halftime show and just get right into the second half here, as Duvernay is going to field this one, and let's see if he can do something with it. Following Ricard, following a couple blocks, he'll get up to about the 27-yard line. So 31-7 as the half opens up. Jackson is going to remain in this one. He'll come out in the I formation and give it to Gus Edwards right away, falling forward for a couple yards. Nice to see him get involved, coming back from injury himself, as was his running mate there, J.K. Dobbins, as Lamar completes a long one to Demarcus Robinson. Really just having his way with this Dolphins defense today, other than the kind of ill-fated pick there that he threw to Xavier Howard, as Robinson takes a shovel pass now, kind of doing it all in this one, moving down to the 25-yard line of the Dolphins. So he's been a key cog on this drive as the Ravens continue to move forward and maybe go for what definitely would be a game-icing touchdown. The game might already be iced, but that would probably 100% do it. As Jackson, operating out of the pistol, gives it off to Dobbins. Gets forward for a nice chunk there. 2nd down and 7. Little play action fake. Jackson's just going to run with this one, kind of take his medicine and gain a couple yards. 3rd and 5. Throws that one up to Demarcus Robinson, who is rewarded for his efforts early on this drive. He's going to score a touchdown easily. Do a backflip celebration there, which as the coach, I don't know if I love that, but This was kind of reminded me of the Andrews one, where he's just sort of hanging in the middle of the defense there. They left the space wide open, goes and gets it and hurdles his way into the end zone. It is 38-7, and the Ravens are running riot. Teddy was running away from, I think, Owe just hawks that one up to Tyreek Hill, who Ravens fans will be familiar with Tyreek Hill making a play like that against them when he used to be with the Chiefs. But, I don't know how realistic that was, but it's 38-7. I'll allow it. Queen with another hit stick there on Chase Edmonds. It didn't really do much because it did not prevent the first down. But, I mean, yet another hit stick as the ball's fumbled away there. Waddle picks it up, gains the first down. This Dolphins offense is truly the chaotic evil today, as Marlon Humphrey makes a nice breakup, getting involved in the action there in the end zone. That's going to be a 3rd down and 10. And Teddy's just kind of running away from the pressure, and then he just hawks one up out of bounds. So 4th and 10, they'll kick the field goal. Try to stanch the bleeding a little bit, and it's going to be 38-10. Just as the third quarter is kind of opened up here. So, or not opened up, but it's about to end. And we'll see what the Ravens do with Lamar. I mean, it's 38-10. It might be time to have a little curtain call for him. But why not have a little bit of a nice return here from Devin Duvernay out to midfield? They're just doing it all today. Offense, defense, special teams. As Jackson is going to come out for the I formation. And then I think that, in fact, is going to be, well, let's see. No, he's still out there. They're still running at Lamar Jackson out there, which you think the Ravens would learn their lesson sometimes with playing stars in meaningless games and meaningless spots. But hey, maybe not. Maybe they're trying to go for the 50 burger. As Jackson, another play action fake, hawks that one up to Mark Andrews. He almost actually makes the catch on a little rebounder situation, but doesn't quite, as they've got a 3rd and 10 here. He's just going to throw another one up, and that's knocked away. 4th down and 10. Justin Tucker comes on to put this game into 40 burger territory at the very least. 41-10 now as we approach the 4th quarter. Dolphins going to take the touchback here with 38 seconds left to go in the 3rd, and let's see what they try to do. Teddy Bridgewater looking just very fired up for a guy who's down by 31 points with not much time to go, but let's see if that can translate into anything for him. Looks like it can, as Tyreek Hill is going to catch that and run away from this defense. Is he going to get all the way away from it? Not quite, but a damn good play there by Tyreek Hill. Still trying as this quarter ends. The Dolphins, this game probably still out of reach for them, but he almost did the damn thing for them there. And are the Dolphins going to do it in the end is the question. Teddy Bridgewater had room to run for the touchdown there easily, but he kind of just hawked one up, and they score on that. So it's going to be 41-17 as Jackson does take his curtain call. He comes out there and hands one off, and then that will be the end of the game for him as Tyler Huntley runs out there to take over. With 7:20 left to go in this one. Going to leave some of the starters out there to kind of work with him and help him get acclimated, and J.K. Dobbins being one of them, picking up that first down, then taking another carry there. We got a 2nd and 14 with the clock ticking, very much so in this one. Little shovel pass to Duvernay isn't going to go much of anywhere, and that'll be a 3rd and 13 for Huntley, who's going to throw for it and is going to get it with Mark Andrews, who is remaining in here. And he had a nice little connection with Huntley last year, actually. So it's nice to see them keeping that going here, even if it is in a meaningless effort. As Huntley himself gets in on the rushing action, but that is definitely going to be called back for an offensive hold. So nice job there, Tyler. Looking good, even if the refs aren't going to give it to you. Handing this one off to Edwards isn't going to go anywhere. He hasn't been super productive in this game so far, but that's okay. Nobody's really needed him to be, as Huntley is going to throw this one over the middle to Bateman as Michael Pierce fires the crowd up. That gets it to about a 3rd and 1. And it's nice to see kind of everyone getting involved in this offense today as Dobbins gets forward well into Dolphins territory. And he's going to get up to 75 yards on the day. A very quiet 75 yards, but he's earned some hard ones for sure. As Huntley's going to throw over the middle to Andrews there, who's had a nice game as well. And they are at the 3-yard line. Clock is ticking. Are they going to punch this one in? Gus Edwards clocks in on the I formation, and he's just going to take advantage there. Gus Edwards in for his first touchdown of the year after a Bad injury robbed him of any playing time in 2021. Nice to see him come back and be the touchdown vulture that he definitely is. So Ravens going to go up 48-17 with not much time left in this one. Let's see what the Dolphins try to do here in garbage time. The answer is going to be not much. They're really not going to try and challenge the defense deep with Tyreek Hill or anything. They're just kind of hitting these little checkdowns, which I understand to an extent. You kind of just want to get out of here. As looks like Kyle Fuller with his third, turnover of the day. He had an interception earlier. He had a fumble recovery. 3 interceptions technically it's crediting him for. Maybe I'm forgetting one, but just a masterful day there for Kyle Fuller. As Marlon Humphrey was actually the one who wanted to have a day like that. But I think the challenge was as J.K. Dobbins gets down there, and that is probably going to end this one at 48-17. I think the challenge was to hold the Dolphins under 20 points and X amount of yards or something. So I think we might have achieved Marlon's thing for his confidence and XP boost anyway. So we'll see as the game ends here. But just a dominant Week 2 performance by the Ravens after a nail-biting win. They are 2 for 2 on the AFC East so far, beating the Jets and the Dolphins as Jackson kind of, daps up and consoles his opponents at midfield there as he runs back to the locker room. But a dominant performance by him, which was nice to see. I definitely wanted to see more from him in the passing game in this one, and we did. He had the one interception, which was a little bit of a head scratcher, but he looked good passing. He looked good rushing. Defense looked amazing. Running game was just kind of very resolute and stout and good to work with. So a nice job all around in this one. 48-17, the Ravens come out with the win. I think we're going to go ahead and look through some of the stats here as well before we get going. Teddy Bridgewater, he had 2 touchdowns and a decent amount of yards, but just couldn't get much going. He was just kind of dinking and dunking his way around. And those turnovers really were the killer for them there. They could not get anything going on the ground either with Chase Edmonds there. That was a tough scene, but Andrews with 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. That is always going to get it done. Another sneaky productive day for Duvernay. I think he was in about the 40s there, it said. Kyle Fuller with just an absolute beast of a day. He's going to win AFC Defensive Player of the Week for sure. But just a dominant performance here all around by the Ravens, like I've been saying. And this was definitely a fun one to record, as was last week's. This has been a fun series for sure, as it looks like Justin Tucker, of all people, after a performance like that, is going to be up for an improvement. I always opt for power when it comes to improving kickers. You don't really get to do it a ton, so just make it so that they can kick it as far as possible and see if the accuracy will take care of itself. And you can't do much better than what JT is already working with, that's for sure. So talking to breakout players, so Marlon Humphrey, coach, football is simpler than people think, and blah, 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 I'm amazing. So he now has a superstar X-Factor ability plus 2,000 XP. So he did get his little XP boost there for just a dominant all-around defensive performance. So good job by you, Marlon, and good job by everybody for sure. This was really fun to record, like I said, as we're going to jump ahead to the next week here. We're not going to play it quite yet, obviously, but like I said, just a fun time all around with the series. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Follow me on Twitter at Jake Luke if you are. Let's talk about it a little bit, and looking forward to next week. See you guys later.